Where'd my... That's supposed to be over here. Hello all. Welcome to our live stream. This is our Monday library meeting because apparently saying news in Twitch and YouTube land is bad nowadays. So we're doing our weekly library meeting. Gonna go over real quick. Got a couple books in that hadn't shared. Let me see if I can get my top-down camera on, because I didn't prep it. So good, aren't I? Where's this cable go? You should be working. Hello. Well, this is the fun part, huh? Hey, there we go. Okay, so you can see my big meat paw. We got in our Adventures of Oz stuff. So this is the complete bundle, the campaign setting, Beast and Being, and a custom GM screen. Plus we got cool cards. So let's see what the cool cards look like. Hope everyone has had a good week. Well, actually like 2 weeks, because it's been a little while since I've been on. Ooh. Sealed even. The Jokers are flying monkeys. Always down for some flying monkeys. Ooh. Oh wow, the backs are really nice. Backs are all foily and a really cool logo on them. Really like those. I'm going to assume that this is something for the game. It's 53rd card, so flying monkeys. Nothing. I mean, the design is really nice, but it's nothing special. there you go. It's Toto, Wicked Witch of the West, and Dorothy, plus your ace. Yeah, I like there's a very subtle design to them. They look really nice. Let's see. There's TikTok, Wicked Witch of the East, and your Tin Man for your diamonds. Your Cowardly Lion, Lacosta, and the Wizard. Wow, the Wizard is only on a Jack. That's for your clubbids. And then for your hearts, the Scarecrow, Glinda the Good Witch, and Jack Pumpkinhead for your hearts. The hearts, they all look really nice. So, did a really good job with those. And this is probably, somewhere in the rules of something cool. Adventures into Oz. I was blown away after finding out how many books there were for the Oz series. Because everybody knows The Wonderful World of Oz, but they don't know, there's 70-something odd books for The World of Oz. Let's see. How many books in Oz? Let's see. There were 14 by L. Frank Baum, the original writer. So, The Wonderful World of Oz, Marvelous Land of Oz, Ozma of Oz, Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, The Road to Oz, Emerald City of Oz. Yeah, tons. And then, pardon me. Then there were 19 by Ruth Pulmy Thompson, 3 by John R. Neal, 2 by Jack Snow, and 1 each by Rachel Cosgrove Pays and Eloise Jarvis McGraw and her daughter. So there is a total of 75 books in total for Oz. Now, there's 52 that are considered canon, and then there's another 53 through 75. Even some of these are by Frank L. Baum as well. So these are books kind of set in the world, and Magical Monarch of Mo, Dot and Tot of Maryland. So The Life Adventures of Santa Claus. They're tangential to the Oz world. So imagine here's Oz, and Santa Claus's world is over here, Sky Island is over here. So they're things within that world, but they're not Oz centric. So tons and tons of stuff, but pretty much everything from L. Frank Baum is in the public domain, and a good or small chunk of the other bazillion books are. Okay, let's look at this. So this is the campaign setting. So this is all 5e compatible. So there's just tons of NPCs building out the world of Oz that if you read especially those first 14 books from L. Frank Baum, you'll know this world. And it was a pretty dark and terrifying if you really get into it. And yes, there were halflings and humans and munchkins, because munchkins were smaller than halflings. You can actually play winged monkeys in this game. Your strength score increases by 2. Winged monkeys reach their adulthood and late teens and live less than a century. So, tons of there's rules for talking animals. You can play as druids. Circle of the Rainbow. Fighters, monks. There's tons of really cool stuff in here. This is actually, if you can find, if you can get your hands on a copy and you're at all interested in that world, it's actually really cool. So, if you've seen the movie Return to Oz with, what was her name? Oh, she was young when she did the movie, but she went on and played a bunch of other stuff. But Red Bears, Per Brunum, all kinds of fun stuff. Bumpy Folk, Blue Wolves. There's the Bunny Burin Royal Pike Brigadier. Dragonettes. This is a very, like, because the world of Oz was just such a different world. I think they were on. There they are. The Wheeler. Most people remember these if they saw the Return to Oz movie. They're only a challenge rating 1/2, but and if you're a little kid, they're super creepy, especially if there's a whole bunch of them. And then the GM screen. So the GM screen has nice artwork on it. A little bit of everything on there. And then great information for GMs. Sorry, I'm zoomed in. I spilled water on my desk right before we went live. So, let's see. Let's see. Let us go. Okay, let's go through some of the news. There honestly not a whole lot of news. It's very quiet right now. So, Daughter of Frankenstein is the game. So, explores horror in a Penny Dreadful inspired tabletop RPG campaign. So this is a 5e based campaign, and it's a really dark and gritty setting. So, Jordan Reme says, I adore Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Honestly, most people that have gone back and read it, most people haven't been big fans of the original Frankenstein or the original Bram Stoker's Dracula. You go back and read them, and they're a bit of a slog. They're really cool stories, but because we've seen both of them done so many times in movie form, that the books seem really boring in comparison, which is kind of sad because they both are really well written. So, it says, I adore Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It's a story that awoke an insatiable desire within little Jordan to consume gothic horror and science fiction in equal measure. A hunger I'm sure will plague my mind for the rest of my days. The novel is by and large inspiration in the types of stories I like to tell in tabletop role-playing games, both as a game master and a player. So it comes as a little surprise to me that I'm immediately smitten with the idea of Daughter of Frankenstein, an upcoming tabletop RPG sourcebook. Daughter of Frankenstein is the first project from Barred Mouse Media, a publisher looking to focus on accessibility and collaboration in tabletop game space to welcome new and lesser heard voices. A team of writers contributing to Daughter of Frankenstein is led by the name that many folks in the tabletop RPG community may find familiar, Beth the Bard. Beth the Bard is a professional game master, co-founder of Bard House Media. Hey! And best-selling author of She is the Ancient, a gender-bent curse of Strahd. She is an ancient, reimagines, rewrites the backstory, societal role. Okay. I think it's really cool because anything that's, especially taking some cool older media and readapting it into RPGs, and hopefully you'll get some people excited about reading some of these older works, because lots of people I know, I love Frankenstein, or I love Dracula, and they've never read the original works from either of the authors, and it's like, go back and read them. Wouldn't suggest going back and reading a lot of the old Russian literary masters. Oof. War and Peace and Anna Karenina. Yeah, I read those. That was slog. Okay. Beetle and Grimm. So at Emerald City, I finally got a chance to I did an elevator pitch in an elevator about the library to Matthew Lillard, one of the founders of Beetle and Grimm. So Beetle and Grimm does like bespoke, really cool versions of D&D items, and they just released their Spelljammer edition, which the content inside the books won't be different. So if you didn't like what WotC put out, not going to be excited about this. But if you look at all the other items, the rest of the stuff inside, they do beautiful maps. They do, I mean, there's a ring that comes with it. I mean, the art is stunning. Let's see. Yeah. And there's just maps, and more maps. The maps are gorgeous. They do encounter, special art and encounter cards. And it's like, oh, and it says below these are not from the Spelljammer, but they get art specifically for each of these items. They are a little expensive, but man, they just get tons of stuff. There's little artifacts, handouts. They do maps. They do just tons and tons of stuff, and they're gorgeous. They really are. I mean, it comes with a frickin' ring. Let's see. Someone on our Discord actually just put out a game. So Null Frog Games put out Mortal Hands Volume 1, A Journey Home. So this is the first volume in Mortal Hands RPG series. You and your friends take on the role of Grecian heroes, would be people from Greece, ancient Greece, who receive achievements, have enraged the gods of Olympus. You must now hold on to hope and race back home before the divine wrath catches up to you. What perilous hazards will the gods place in your path? Is the human spirit enough to overcome these monsters and armies and lightning bolts? It's a series of short RPGs. Each game is different setting and story structure, but all have common thread of humble heroes taking on the problems much bigger than them. The gameplay is improv focus. Everyone helps by telling the story. No wrong way to play. Rules are simple. Conflicts are resolved with a form of rock, paper, scissors, except in Mortal Hands there's 15 unique designs. Don't be scared, you will only need to learn 3 at a time. The signs in each volume go by different names, but the outcomes are always the same. Each booklet has everything you need. They walk through setup and character creation, provide support for running the game. There's handouts for each player and tools to help them build the story as you go. I'm a big history nerd, so I dig this. Let's see. Overreaching government leeches. Super savage systems. So we're friends with Brian, the designer of Super Savage Systems and Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. Absolutely love the setting. It's bonkers. And this is a pay what you want, suggested 67 cents. Corporate entities within the Detroit Prime government have gone rogue and trying to overthrow the president. Blanco, Washbro, and Mages of the Boardwalk. Or all corporate entities working within the government producing products such as lycoplasm and other great nutrient-rich dense oozes and gels until they got the bright idea and formed the mega corporation to take down the president. Under the guidance of their new de facto leader of the cybernetic employment, the cybernetic employment officer (CEO), the corporation has planned a coup d'état on Detroit Prime. 11 pages of madness and chaos for free, or pay what you want. I love the super silly world that it is. So if you have Neon Lords, or you want to adapt this to any post-apocalyptic setting, there you go. Let's see. The only thing that's active on GoFundMe has 5 days left. Hybrids double feature RPG and TBP, trade paperback. One thing I do love about Indiegogo is it's where a lot of artists have found a place to put their graphic novels and stuff. So as just like we're seeing within TV and news and everything, you're finding more independent outlets. So you have a ton of people that are putting all kinds of graphic novels of various, you can find something in the course of a year. You're going to find 1 or 2 graphic novels that you're going to like. They're going to be stories that you like. And you're going to find a ton that you don't. But that's the beauty of something like Indiegogo, is support the things you want. Don't have to support things you don't want. And the cool thing is they're all independent people. So it's not like, oh, hey, I love Wolverine from Marvel, and you buy Wolverine comics and it's supporting, Alpha Flight, and you're like, I hate Alpha Flight. But every sale that you get of Wolverine helps to pay for the artist of Alpha Flight. There's pluses and minuses to everyone. So I love the nature of what this is. It allows more, the ability to actually vote with your wallet, while not having to hurt another artist. Because if you don't like another artist, just don't support them. And also don't go screaming your head off about, hey, I don't like this person, I don't like the game they made, I don't like the whatever. Just, be an awesome person and support things you want to support. Anyways, let's look at the RPG and trade paperback of Hybrids double feature. Hybrids, the Son of Gods double feature. The highly anticipated core rules manual for the RPG is here, along with Trash Day and Killing Field trade paperback. Check out the Try It First tier for $1. You get 4 free PDFs. Well, that's actually kind of awesome. Let's see. Wow, and actually really cool art. I'm digging the art. I don't know much about the RPG itself. So what do we have here? The Gamer's Bundle. Limited perk gives you a complete experience with a custom dice set and collapsible leather dice tray. Nice. Dice glow in the dark and come with either a square or hexagonal dice case. The dice tray are either black or gray and feature the Heck logo. So $100 gets you the Hybrids RPG, which looks like it's 3 books: Quick Play Episode 2, and Quick Play Episode 1, and then custom dice. Try First, and that's nice because for $1 you can get the stuff in PDF. Quick Play Episode 2, so if you've backed their other stuff, you can get their just the there's a lot of choices. So you can get the Killing Field trade paperback for $35. You can just get the Hybrids core rulebook. For $40, you get Arrow Bundle 2. So their trade paperback stuff. For $55, you can get the core book and the core game book. For $100, that gets you the Ultimate Bundle. For $300, you can get an original piece of art. I like it when original art and stuff is thrown in. Shipped with these things. So hadn't seen these things until more recently. Gemini mailers. If you're going to be sending especially soft cover books, or actually, honestly, if you're going to be sending any one-off books, these are great. They just help protect the books. It's so good. So Hybrids. So, superhero-based RPG. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it was the only thing on Indiegogo. They're trying to get to 2,500. They got 5 days to go, so looks like they've had a few others. So, fingers crossed for them. Let's see, Game Found. Oh, I was hadn't. So, Game Found can be a little tough to peruse sometimes. So they got their feature. Oh, they've changed it up. They used to have little tags. So, and you could see. See, and this is my frustration with GameFound is like I always come up with tons of like late pledges. I know there's other RPGs on here. It's not as search friendly. See, I typed in TTRPG, and the thing that they have up in the up in the banner wasn't even. It's an early. It launches in a couple days, but this wasn't even in the search. So, gotta get with the GameFound people and say, hey, how do we make your stuff easier to search? Okay, let's look at some Kickstarter stuff. Yes, there. You should be able to see I have an alert saying that I have to. So there's a little alert. I have 3 surveys. I've got to go. Some smaller things that we backed have popped up. So, Agia, the Dreaming Universe RPG, is a role-playing game that fuses cosmic horror with dark fantasy within the mind of a dreaming god. Intriguing. So, just launched. Downside, first created, 0 backed. I know a lot of people say, so been playing role-playing games since 1980, 81, and running campaigns in one-shot since 1980 to 83, 84. During that time, I've built a world of Agea, which is an well, hello. I have a little monster that showed up. Hi. What? She just likes to be held. The hilarious thing is, I will walk around with her, just in my hand like this, and she's just typically cool with it. But she's a little high up. She's like, no, I want to be like right on you. Okay, no, I don't know what you want. What do you want? She's not the center of attention, so she's not happy. Okay, so I built the setting through several dozen different games. None really captured my vision, so started toying with the idea of creating this game. I began in earnest during COVID. Sounds like a lot of RPGs. Well, let's see if we can get some more info. The Zindai, 6 to 7 foot tall humanoids. See, things you need to play. A game master always helps. GMs are great. Players to take part of the characters and doing the ongoing story. Pen, pencil, paper, a D20 and a D10. You can use a single D20 for both roles or invest in several D10s. A couple hours to lose yourself in adventure and fun. Want to know more about the system? It doesn't really talk about the system. It's a fast-paced, easy-to-learn table to everybody says that. Playing that uses D10, D20 system that allows the players to pick, create a unique character, and jump into the world. It's a dark fantasy, cosmic horror role-playing game that is much different than the normal fantasy role-playing games. The species, except for humans, continue the dark horror motif. The gods are uncaring, save for their own machinations against one another. I'm intrigued. I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. Hey, we have backed this one. Our friends Ben Thompson and Brian Snoddy, Snoddy. I always ask him how to pronounce his name, but I always said Snoddy when I was a kid. And I know that I'm pretty sure it's Snoddy. Oh, jeez. I'll ask him. And I think next week I'm going to go and sit down with him and chat with him again. So this is 5 full-length. What are you doing? Oh, it's a scratching post. You're fine. So they're they're 5.99 adventures in PDF form, but as you back them, you can back them. So I backed them to get a small piece of interior artwork. So all the artwork is done by hand, not computer, by hand by Brian. And Ben has been writing a series of books called Badass of the Week, and they're pretty hilarious books. What? What are you doing? You're making all kinds of weird noises over here. Kittens. So if you get a piece of artwork, you'll get an actual physical piece of artwork, and I would suggest people doing that because you get maybe a small piece. None of them are crazy, but it's all stuff done by hand, and Brian is insanely talented, and Ben is immensely fun to talk to and read. What are you getting? Stop getting into stuff. Kittens are mischievous. Haven't had a kitten in years. But really enjoy chatting with them, enjoy reading their books, enjoy Brian's artwork, and the two of them have really done really awesome. I've got to look through some bits and pieces of this, and we'll look through some more. Stop. Here. Look at those. And so they're all designed for 5e, OSR, D&D 3.5, and I think maybe 5e? Can't remember. But anything that's done for 3.5 is easy to convert to 5e. And so they're going to put out if you buy all 5 modules, they don't come out, you don't get all 5 right away. You get them over the course of the next year, which is actually kind of cool because then, this piece is... I've seen this piece in person. Oh, it's stunning. Did anybody take this piece? Somebody bought this piece, and hats off to them. This piece is, and it's so cool when you have like 2 super talented people on a project like this, because one can provide the stunning artwork that's additional. So instead of like, hey, I got a cool game, I got a cool game and one of the original pieces of artwork out of it. So I can go on about, I love this piece too. Man, there's so much good art in this. But you'll, over the next year, all 5 modules will come out. And this just helps them fund this project and other projects. Because, there's a boatload of art in this. And they're doing well now. They're at 6,000, so I want to see them go way higher, because they're decent sized adventures and just boatloads of stunning art in them. See, Shadow of the Dark, another one we have backed. So they're at close to 1 million at 16 days to go. So this is Arcane Library, first created. They're killing it. It is cool. We backed it at the level so we could get the premium book. Most of that money comes out of my pocket. It's not money. If you donate money to the library, that goes to covering like our storage, our travel to get to events, buying books that fit into holes and stuff in the library, or specific items that we need to keep doing what we do with the library. See, in Shadow Dark RPG, you and your group of crawlers use magic, steel, and wits to delve into mysterious ruins, lost cities, and monster-infested depths. Wondrous treasures and long-forgotten secrets await you, but Don't let your last torch burn out, or you could be swallowed by the Shadow Dark. It is a very dark. It's a grimdark, so it's a D20 based RPG retro clone. So OSR style RPG, but in a very dark. So 4 core classes: fighter, priest, thief, wizard. D20 based, roll high system. No dark vision. Total darkness is dangerous. So you can't. No one can see in the dark, and you don't know what's in the dark. Just like OSR or OSE, Old School Essential, Treasure grants XP. Old D&D did this. It was a great way to make people explore everything and not kill everything. You can gain XP off of the creatures you kill, but if you defeat them without murdering them, you get XP. And it just, I like the treasure grants XP. Let's see. Roll to cast spells. Magic is exciting and risky. Oh, I love that. It's one of the things I'm loving about what is it? Dungeon Crawl Classics. Haven't really personally run into something horrible, but if I do, my character's toast. Let's see. Simple distances, near, close, near, far. I like that. It's like, well, I can shoot 300 meters. How far are they? Well, they're 310 meters. Ugh. They're near, close, far. Monster morale and reaction rolls, always on initiative. Easy time is easy track. So always on initiative is really cool. It prevents somebody like myself it prevents somebody from myself with a quieter group from kind of going, okay, I do this, okay, I do this, and try it. You keep the always on initiative. That way, if I go, then other people can chime in and not get stomped on. See, hey, Fraser Valley. Looks good, but I just don't want to play this style RPG anymore. Also, Milestone RXP is much better. So I get there's a lot of people they're just kind of done with fantasy based or OSR based. I love the OSR revival right now, but I do get that a lot of people are kind of burnt out on it, and there's a lot of people that are burnt out on fantasy. What do you mean by Milestone XP? Meaning you completed. So I get what you're saying. So the 3 types of, I guess, main types of XP are monster / encounter. Hey, we killed this many monsters, we get this much XP. You get the treasure XP, which I like because when you're doing XP, that means you go out and you kind of explore everything. And then milestone is, hey, you completed you completed a mission and you get XP, or when you get to a certain point, the GM levels you up. Hey, you've done enough that you've leveled up, and I do really like milestone XP. I love treasure because treasure forces people to go explore more. It's great for dungeon crawling. Because dungeon crawling, you don't necessarily have those milestones. And if you do treasure over just encounter based, you get more exploration versus more murder hobo. Milestone is great for those continuing campaigns, and it's enticing players to focus on events. And I do really like that. When I play in long-term campaigns, especially something that's not a dungeon crawl, and I'm playing a game that has levels, I'll do much more in line with the milestone. Because I get a lot of people like, oh, how much XP did we get? How much XP did we get? I'm like, I'll tell you when you get XP. And that frustrates some because they're like, well, we haven't got any in a while. Well, you haven't finished what you're trying to do right now. So, and overall, this looks really well done. The previews are gorgeous. And they've done the layout so that it is a book layout, because As much as I like Mork Borg, it is a gorgeous book to flip through. But it does print on 8.5 by 11 much nicer than it lays out in a book. Yes, you're right that this is the milestone XP is much less work for the DM, and 100% correct. It also does help prevent murder hoboing in campaigns, because you give somebody XP and they get to keep track of it. They're like, I'm 13 XP away. Ooh, I will go slaughter this horde of kobolds. There's my 13 XP. I level up now. Nice. What did you think of Mork Borg? Fraser Valley Tabletop Games says he got to play Mork Borg finally this weekend. I like the rules a lot, because I find them like really clean and kind of get out of the way of role playing, and that's why there's so many people making Mork Borg clones. Well, not even necessarily clones, because you've got Cyborg and now Pirate Borg. So Cyborg was made by Free League. Pirate Borg was made by someone else and has been brought into Free League because it was so well done, and tons of people doing great stuff. I do have I kind of miss dungeon crawls. We got away from it for so many years that I'm really happy that dungeon crawls are back. Let's see. Dungeon Denizens. 500 new monsters for 5e and DCC. Doing well. 7 days to go. Man, I would love to see them higher. If you play Dungeon Crawl Classics at all, or if you're into 5e but you want to do 5e like really bonkers, yeah, this is your way to go. Because $30 gets you the 5e or DCC PDF. $49 gets you the print plus PDF, and you pick it's $49 for DCC, $59 for 5e, because there's an extra 100 pages in the 5e one. $74 gets you the 5e reptile print cover, or it's $64 for the DCC version. $179 is the you get all the add-ons and stuff. The limited covers are super cool, and I do have to say I love this the DCC cover. But Dungeon Crawl Classics, Goodman Games puts out tons and tons of great stuff. You can get GM screens, you can get cardstock pawns, dice, T-shirts. T-shirts creepy. Looks like an it looks like an 80s rock band cover. $40 you can get platform neutral virtual tabletop tokens. That's kind of cool. I love the $5 you can get dust jackets. And then you can do virgin art, so it's like full art land for Magic, which is super duper cool. So $189 gets you hardcover plus all printed add-ons for 5e. $179 does it for DCCCC. If you do the limited run covers, it's $189 and $199. If you see there's a $2 or $10 difference on each, so that all in, that gets you the dice and everything, and those are your standard standard dice, and these are your crazy DCC dice. $499 you get everything, both DCC and 5e, plus all the PDFs, and yeah, tons and tons. The faux reptile skin, which is super duper cool. 500 crazy Dungeon Crawl Classic monsters. And the one thing that Goodman Games does that I love is just tons and tons of physical art. They don't do any digital art. All of their art is physical. So, nice. So once they get to 3,500 backers, which I think they have, they get 20 backer design monster slots. That's cool. So, this is all the extra monsters they've door golems that they've unlocked. They've got a bunch more to unlock. Like that they went all the way up to 775. Need to get on one of their Twitch shows, or get them on our show. Promoted by BackerKit. See. Forge, the last RPG rulebook you'll ever need. That is a very big statement. They're out of Van Buren, Missouri. So Rick Martinez, first created, 0 back. Download the free Quick Start Guide now, and check our live campaign on Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. They have their Dead Aussie Gamers. I've talked to Dead Aussie Gamer. So, Forge is already implemented on Roll20. Nice. Get your hands on some of the work in progress. Let's see. $7 gets you the basics. Digital copy of the rulebook, GM screen, treasure map, first timers GM help sheet, how to GM. That's always nice. Single page quick start guide for new players, 6 pre-made characters and enemies, beautiful printable character sheet, and an automated character sheet for Roll20. $20 gets you a physical copy. $27 gets you the Pro Digital Orwin and 100 characters. Okay. $40 gets you the Pro Physical version. So that's the physical books plus the 100 pre-made characters. The deluxe package with custom campaign. 4 miniatures with that. 5 laminated character sheets, 100 pre-made. It's actually a lot of stuff. 400 1-year monthly worlds. Everything in the physical copy, as well as a monthly release of full campaign, include 2 minis for each. Wow, that's you end up with 12 campaigns, 24 miniatures, and 200 pre-made characters and enemies. Interesting. Maybe I'll download this and take a look at it later. Long ways to go. They want to get to 50,000. That's a big goal That's a big goal. The Vulture. This is part of the tail end of Zine Quest. So this is a Mothership base game. Mothership, if you don't know, tons of fun. Very simple, straightforward, horror-based sci-fi RPG. Easy to do something like Alien in it, but not aliens. And super, super simple, and tons of people are making cool stuff for it. And then also, same thing. This one, they're over their goal. They got 5 days to go. They're 222 backers. And then this is 4 days to go, and they're at 17,000 of their goals. But this is also Mothership, RPG murder mystery. So, based on Mothership. So, Killing in the Name. If Mothership is up in your wheelhouse, definitely take a look at these two. Check out the inspirations for Killing in the Name, Death of Stalin, Coup, Disco Elysium, The Thing, yes. Texas, I don't know that one. Spring Snow, Death Loop, Encounters of the End of the World, Tread, Reese, Revolt of the Elites, Killing in the Name, Free Space, Frostpunk, Murder on the Orient Express. It's a great book. It's been made into a bunch of movies, and most of them are okay. Gossip Girl, Rap Music, Revolutions, Imperial, The Highest Stage of Capitalism. That's something I should know, and I don't know. Ravenous, The Pervert's Guide to Ideology. Sounds interesting. Chernobyl. Great TV series. Just ignore the science. They get a lot of the science very wrong. I've been to Chernobyl. Metal Gear Rising. Never been a big Metal Gear. I know about it, but just never been in my wheelhouse. Sublime Object of Ideology. Dark Knight Rises. Interesting group of inspirations, but yeah, if you're into Mothership, it looks like it's well done and could be a lot of fun. Okay, let's get into some Humble Bundle. So, the complete Dark Horse collection of ElfQuest. So this isn't an RPG, but I do say, hey, if you are looking for an interesting world to jump into, there is older ElfQuest RPGs. My family knew Wendy and Richard Pini growing up, and the stories are great. The art is a lot of fun, and they're very, like, it is a really cool world because it's not your Tolkien elves that we've kind of all latched onto. I mean, you see, as I point to my screen, you see here, that wolf is literally, like, that wolf is between them two, these two. That's all the taller he is to that wolf. He actually rides that wolf through the stories. Really cool stories. So for $25, you get 13 graphic novels in PDF format to read through and really give you a new take on fantasy stuff, and it's a great world to read through and get inspired and play something that isn't what we've all been playing a ton of when it comes to fantasy. It's an entirely different, cool world. Let's see. Castle and Crusades. From Trollord Games, the core rulebooks have been out for free. For these two books, the Monsters and Treasures Player's Handbook. I think maybe only the 6th edition. And this is for $18. You get a boatload of stuff for a really good RPG. Castle and Crusades is actually really cool. It's a lot of fun, and it's its own system for people to play on. Very inspired by other RPGs, other story settings than just Tolkien. So you'll find a lot of fairy tale in here. You'll find a lot of other high fantasy, old. So like this has a lot of Greek mythology in it. This has a lot of German mythology in it. And when I say German, like not Germany, but old Germanic tribes, so Germany, Austria, parts of Poland, yeah. And I'm even cool with it, even though it supports Navy Marine Corps Relief Society. As a former airman and soldier, I guess the Navy can have a few bucks. Hats off to all my sailors and Marines out there. Soldiers and airmen love you guys too. Shadowrun. So this is their 5th edition stuff. So they're on their current 6th edition, and a lot of people that have been playing Shadowrun over the years, 6th edition's had a mixed bag. There's some people that really love it, some people that don't like it, but 5th edition overall, I think, has had the best run. Most people have liked it the best. Some people say that 6th edition fixed some things with it or wrong 5th. Other people say, oh, it got rid of things or it made things worse. So, it's like every new edition. But overall, everybody that's talked to has overall liked 5th edition the best out of the editions that they've played. So for $18, you get the core book for 5th ed, Run and Gun, Street Grimoire, Run Faster, Chrome Flesh, Data Trails, Rigor 5, Howling Shadows, Forbidden Arcana, Street Lethal, Kill Code, Dark Terrors, Oh, just so much. I want to say I am missing something that was supposed to release today. Let's see. Pulling up my email real quick. Too many emails. Oh, that's what it was. Let me look it up. Before I go on the last bit of. Let's see. Okay. I thought it launched today, but it launches, I think, tomorrow. So we'll talk about it next week. So Walking Dead from Free League is launching tomorrow. Okay, so last of the Humble Bundle stuff is Fallout. So for $18, you can get the Fallout RPG from Modiphius, which includes a boatload of STL files. So $18, you get the Caught in the Crossfire supplement, and you get tons of STL files. Plus, you get the Wasteland Warfare campaign book, the cards that you can print and play, the expansion book. So this is the expansion book. This is the handbook. Some more STL files. The Unexpected Shepherd Part 1 campaign book. Machine Frequency campaign. Character sheets. More STL files. The rules of play. So this is your basic core rules. Getting acclimated. So this is your player handout. And then your print and play character cards. So you get actually a ton of stuff. And if you have a 3D printer, you're gonna be printing things for a while. I mean, Vault-Tec, Vault Girl. Huge. I'm loving as I've gone through this, loving the Fallout RPG. Okay, down to our last page, which has a bunch of stuff on it. So, Bundle of Holding. We have Arcane of the Ancients, Beneath the Monolith, and more from Monte Cook. Hey, more from Monte Cook. Love Monte Cook. Last year was their 10th anniversary. Monte Cook started his own RPG company. They've been just pumping really cool stuff out, like the Cypher system and Numeria. So, this is Arcane Ancients, is the Numeria tabletop role-playing, remade for 5th edition. So, imagine the awesome setting of Numeria, which is way in the future, but high fantasy. So there's like magic and stuff, and they've remade it into. So this is their 5e version of Numeria. So for $17.95, you get the Arcane of the Ancients, Beneath the Monolith, Beasts of Flesh and Steel, Where the Machines Wait, and Jade Colossus. That is a lot of stuff. This is your core book, and really cool stuff. I like all the things that Monte Cook's been putting out for the last few years. So, let's see. GURPS 4E combat action. So, $17.95 gets you GURPS 4E martial arts, tactical shooting, gun fu. Then you can play Equilibrium and the high-tech gun book. Then if you go up to $40.36, you get all of those plus Action Exploits 2. You get 5 GURPS action supplements: Heroes, Exploits, Furious Fists, Specialties, and Dictionary of Danger. Then you get 4 GURPS martial arts expansions: Fairbane Close Combat, Gladiators, Technical Grappling, and Yurth Fighting Styles. Then Transhuman Space Martial Arts 2001. Get a kick out of tomorrow. So sci-fi kung fu. So yeah, for $40.36, you can get a boatload. GURPS is a blast. A lot of people try to talk. They're like, oh, they tried to do so much, and they've been able to do a ton with GURPS. It is a lot of fun. It allows you to bring in anything you want. You can get fun and crazy with it if you want, or you can slim it down to just the smallest of things if you want. Let's see, GURPS 4E Supers. So $10 gets you GURPS 4E Supers and GURPS 4E Powers. And then if you go up to $35, you get all that, plus 4 Powers expansions: Divine Favor, Enhanced Senses, Totems of Nature and Spirits, Totems and Nature Spirits, and The Weird. And then you also get 9 more power-ups: Enuberance, Perks, Talents, Enhancements, Quirks, Wildcards, and more. So, tons of stuff. So if you want to play anything super-powered, well, GURPS has you covered there. See, that's what I love about GURPS, is you can play a James Bond-based thing. You could recreate kung fu movies from the 70s. You could do some awesome blaxploitation movies from the 70s. You can do superpower stuff, sci-fi stuff. The Weird War II was a thing where you're fighting against Nazis with vampires and werewolves. That's crazy and badass. So, never make fun of GURPS. Super cool things. Also, Steve Jackson Games sent GURPS down to Brazil and became a huge thing. Got a ton of people down in Brazil playing RPGs, which I love that. Get into other places where nobody's experienced stuff like this, and starts sharing the awesomeness that is RPGs. Let's see, Advanced Fantasy Fighting. So this is an older RPG. There's an older bundle that they've redone. So for $8, you get Advanced Fighting Fantasy 2nd Edition, complete role-playing game in the fighting fantasy world, with the Hero's Companion as sorcery spellbook and the hundreds of dangerous adversaries. So this is monsters and stuff for the game. And then if you go up to $19.96, you get all of that, plus Warlock of the Firetop Mountain, a scenario, Titan, World Sourcebook and Map, Beyond the Pit, another 250 creatures of Titan, Black Sand, break out your backpack, lantern, and sword, see you in Black Sand, and Crown of Kings, the sorcery campaign. That is the creepiest manticore, part lion, part scorpion. And Steve Jackson had a hand in writing some of this. So Steve Jackson, super creative guy. I need to send out that email I gotta sit down and chat with him. And more fantasy fighting. So you get the other one, gets you started. And then for $10, you get Rough Guide to the Pit, wide open ranging tour of the realm of demons and the undead, Demons of Doom, the Titan Herbal, your handy guide to weird plants and horrifying fungus. I love that so much. Horrifying fungus. And 3 AFF adventures, Cook King's Cup and Floating Dungeon of Varak Asul, Inn of Last Hope. And then, if you go up to $21.35, you get all these books, plus Combat Companion, Encyclopedia Arcana Treasures, Citadel of Chaos, Return to the Pit, more than 250 new monsters, and Travels in Arion. So if you get the 2 of them, you'll have 750 monsters for the game, which is a bunch. Some great people have been part of this game. I haven't played it yet. I need to at least check it out. So, well, I think that's everything. Not a lot of news. I think there's a lot of people that are laying low. It's the beginning of con season, so at cons we'll see stuff get announced and released. But some of that doesn't necessarily make it onto the internet until usually post Gen Con. We'll see a big spike in news. But thank you all for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope everyone has had a good week. And you know what? Get out and game. You know, whether it's Adventures in Oz or some 5e or fantasy fighting, GURPS, Rifts. There's so many awesome game systems out there. Find something, get out and play, make some new friends, get some shared experiences. Just reading some literature on part of the reason why a lot of media that we consume is kind of sucking for a lot of people is we don't have the shared experiences that we used to. So go out and get some shared experiences. Make some new friends. Warhammer. Oh, yes, that's right. Warhammer Fantasy announced Lustria releases on Wednesday. Yeah, I was trying to find that and could not, for the life of me, remember. I was like, Warhammer Fantasy announced something. Let's see. Warhammer. See if I can find. And Cubicle 7 making the Warhammer Fantasy stuff. So, that is a cool cover. Yeah. And for the life of me, I couldn't remember that Cubicle 7 was making it, even though Cubicle 7 is redoing the Warhammer 40K stuff for that Fantasy Flight did for years. And I'm intrigued to see how they got that. But yes, super excited for this. Comes out this Wednesday. So you'll be able to order. Don't see the prices, but get a hold of your local game store. Your friendly local game store should help you. So the thing that they have the Wrath and Glory stuff, which I actually like this a lot. It is really quick to get into, but they don't have it up here. But they just announced they're doing a new book for the old Fantasy Flight Warhammer stuff that they somehow acquired all the rights to, and I really can't wait to get my hands on the Doctor Who stuff. Should be soon. So, okay. Well, until it's not booked yet. So, until next time, the library's closed. Get out and game with some people, and everyone, be excellent to each other. Hope we all learned something awesome from Bill and Ted's excellent adventure. Be excellent to each other. Wild Stallions rule.